Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 19th of February 2024. Essence. Sweet children, I am beyond sound. I have come to take you children beyond sound. It is now the stage of retirement for all of you. You now have to go home beyond sound. Question: whom would you call a good effort-making student? What are the main signs? Answer: a good effort-making student is one who knows how to talk to himself and how to study subtly. Effort-making students would continually check themselves. Do I have any devilish nature in me? To what extent have I imbibed divine virtues? Do I have any criminal thoughts? They would keep their register to see to what extent they constantly have the vision of brotherhood. Om Shanti. Baba explains to you spiritual children who are making effort to go beyond sound, that is, who are making effort to go home. That is the home of all souls. You understand that you now have to shed those bodies and return home. The Father says, I have come to take you back home. This is why you have to remain beyond those bodies and bodily relationships. This is a dirty world. The soul knows that he now has to return home. The Father has come to purify you. We have to go to the pure world once again. You should internally churn this ocean of knowledge. No one else would have such thoughts. You understand that you will willingly shed those bodies, return home, and then go back into the new world in new pure relationships. Very few have this awareness. The Father says, all, young, mature and old, have to return home and then go back into the new world of pure relationships. It should repeatedly enter your intellects that you are now making preparations to return home. Those who do something will return with Baba. Those who do something now in the name of God will become multimillionaires in the new world. Those people do everything indirectly in this old world. They believe that God will give them the fruit of that. The Father now explains to you that they only receive temporary fruit. I have now come and I advise you. Those who give now will receive the return of that as multi-millions for 21 births. You understand that you will go and take birth in a grand home, or that you will become Narayan or Lakshmi. So then, you also have to make that much effort. We are making preparations to leave this dirty old world. We have to renounce this old world and these old bodies. You should remain ready to such an extent that you don't remember anyone else at the end. If you remember the old world or your friends and relatives, etc., what would be your state? It is said, those who remember a woman at the end, ... This is why you should follow the Father. It isn't that Baba thinks he has to shed his body because he is old. No, all of you are old. It is everyone's stage of retirement. Everyone has to return home. This is why the Father says, break your intellect's yoga away from this old world. You now have to return to your home. You will then stay there for as long as you have to stay there. The later you have to play your part, the later you will adopt a body and play your part. Some would even remain in the land of peace for 5,000 years, less 100 years. They would come at the end. When someone sacrifices himself at Kashi, all his sins are absolved. How many sins would those who come at the end accumulate? They would come and go, but no one can receive eternal liberation. What would they do staying there? They definitely have to play their parts. Your parts are to come at the beginning. So the Father says, children, continue to forget this old world. You now have to return home. Your parts of 84 births have ended. You have become impure. You now have to consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. Imbibe divine virtues. The Father explains, children, continue to check yourselves. Do I have a devilish nature? Your nature should be divine. Keep a chart for this and it will become firm. However, Maya is such that she doesn't allow you to keep a chart. You keep it for 2 to 4 days and then leave it, because it is not in your fortune. If it is in your fortune, you keep your register very well. They definitely keep a register at school. Here too, all of you at all the centres have to keep your chart or register. Then check whether you attend daily. Am I imbibing divine virtues? You have to go higher than the relationship of brother and sister. There has to be just the spiritual vision of brotherhood. I am a soul. There should be no criminal vision. The relationship of brother and sister is because you are Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. You are the children of the one Father. It is only at this confluence age that you stay in the relationship of brother and sister so that the vision of vice ends. You must only remember the one Father. You have to go beyond sound. To talk to yourself in this way is to study subtly. There is no need to make any sound. It is in order to explain things to you children, Baba has to come into sound. He also has to explain to you in order for you to go beyond sound. You now have to return home. You called out to the Father to come and take you back with him. We are impure and so cannot return home. Who in the impure world could make us pure? Sages and holy men, etc., cannot make you pure. They themselves go and bathe in the Ganges to become pure. They don't even know the Father. Those who knew him in the previous cycle are the ones who make effort now. No one except the Father can inspire you to make this effort. The Father is the highest of all. Look at the state human beings have reached by saying that such a Father is in the pebbles and stones. They have continued to come down the ladder. On the one hand, they were completely viceless, and on the other hand, those people are completely vicious. Only those who believed these things in the previous cycle will believe them now. It is your duty to tell the Father's orders to everyone who comes here. Explain the picture of the ladder. It is now the stage of retirement for everyone. Everyone will now go to the land of peace or the land of happiness. Those souls who make themselves completely pure with the power of their intellect's yoga will go to the land of happiness. The ancient yoga of Bharat has been remembered. The soul has now also remembered that he truly did come here first and that he now has to return home. You now remember your parts. Those who do not become part of this clan do not remember that they have to become pure. It is for becoming pure that you have to make effort. The Father says, "Consider yourselves to be souls and remember me, and you will become conquerors of sin, and consider yourselves to be brothers and sisters, and your vision will change." Your vision isn't bad in the golden age. The Father continues to explain, "Children, each of you should ask yourself, am I a golden-aged deity or an iron-aged human being?" You children have to make very good pictures and slogans, etc. One picture should ask the question, are you golden-aged or iron-aged? The second picture should ask another question. You should create this enthusiasm everywhere. The Father is giving you Srimat to make impure ones pure. However, what would I know about your business, etc.? You called out to the Father to come and show you the path to change from human beings into deities. I come and show you this. It is such a simple matter. The signal I give you is very easy. Man above. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. Because of not understanding the meaning of this, they have said that the Ganges is the purifier. It is the Father who is the purifier. It is now the time of settlement for everyone. I enable you to settle your karmic accounts, and I take you back home. You understand when the Father explains, but if this is not in your fortune, you fall. The Father says, "Consider yourselves to be brothers and sisters." You should never have bad vision. Some have the evil spirit of lust, others have the evil spirit of greed. Sometimes, when they see good food, they are tempted by that. When they see someone selling roasted chickpeas, they have the desire to eat some. Then, if you do eat those, because you are weak, you are quickly affected and your intellect becomes corrupted. You should follow those to whom the mother, father, and the special ones give a certificate. You should eat whatever you receive from the yajna and consider that to be very tasty. Your taste buds must not pull you. Yoga is also needed. If there isn't yoga, you would say, I have to eat this, otherwise I will fall ill. It should remain in your intellects that you have come here to become deities. You now have to return home, and you will then go and become a baby in your mother's womb. Whatever the mother eats and drinks, that affects the baby in her womb. None of these things exist there. There, everything will be first class. Our mothers will eat first class things which will give us nourishment. There, everything is first class. When you take birth, your food and drink are pure. So you should make preparations to go to such a heaven. You have to remember the Father. The Father comes and rejuvenates you. Those people put monkey glands into human beings, believing that they will become young, just as they have heart transplants. The Father doesn't give you another heart. He comes and changes you. All of that is science. They continue to manufacture bombs, etc. All of those things will destroy the world. Their intellects are tamo-pradhan. They are happy that that destiny is created. The bombs definitely have to be made. In the scriptures, it is written that missiles emerged from their stomachs and that such and such happened. The Father has now explained that all of those things belong to the path of devotion. I alone taught you Raj Yoga. That is just a story. By listening to it, your state has become what it is. The Father is now telling you the story of the true Narayan, the story of the third eye, and the story of immortality. You attain that status by studying this study. However, there isn't a Sri Krishna, etc., like they have shown him, spinning a discus and killing everyone with it. I simply teach you Raj Yoga and purify you. I make you into the spinners of the discus of self-realization. They have shown Sri Krishna with a discus. How would he spin the discus of self-realization? It is not a question of magic. All of that is defamation. That continues for half a cycle. The drama is so wonderful. It is now the stage of retirement for all, young and old. We now have to return home, and we therefore have to remember the Father. Nothing else should be remembered. Only when you have such a stage can you attain a high status. You should ask your heart, to what extent is my register okay? You can tell from the register about your activities, whether you study regularly or not. Some even tell lies. The Father says, tell the truth. If you don't, your register will be spoilt. You promise God that you will become pure. So, if you then break that promise, what would your state become? If you fall into vice, the whole play is over. The first enemy is body consciousness, then lust, then anger. One's attitude becomes impure when there is body consciousness. This is why the Father says, "May you be soul conscious." This one is Arjuna. He is also the Sri Krishna soul. The name of the one he entered was changed. His name is not Arjuna. People say that this tree, etc., is all your imagination. Whatever you people imagine, you will then see that at some point. You children should be very happy that you will go to heaven and become small children again. At that time, your name, form, land and time, etc., will all be new. This is an unlimited drama. That which is predestined is taking place again. It has to happen, so why should we worry? You children now have the secrets of the drama in your intellects. No one else except you Brahmins knows these. At this time, all the people in the world are worshippers. Where there are worshippers, there cannot be a single person who is worthy of worship. The worthy of worship ones exist in the golden and silver ages. In the Iron Age, there are worshippers. So how can you call yourselves worthy of worship? Only the deities are worthy of worship. Human beings are worshippers. The Father explains the main things. If you want to become pure, constantly remember me alone. However much effort someone made according to the drama, that is how much effort he will make. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence Vedana. 1. Keep a register of how you study. Look at your chart to see, to what extent do I have the vision of brotherhood? Has my nature become divine? 2. Control your appetite, taste and food. It should remain in your intellects that you are becoming deities, and that you therefore have to pay a lot of attention to your food and drink. Your taste buds should not cause mischief. You have to follow the Mother and Father. Blessing. May you be a special soul and claim all rights by recognizing the Father with the power of discernment. BapDada sees the speciality of every child. Even though you may not have become perfect and are effort makers, there isn't a single child who does not have even one speciality. The foremost speciality of each of you is that you are in the list of the handful out of multi-millions. To recognize the Father and say, my Baba, and claim all rights is the speciality of an intellect that has the power of discernment. This elevated power has made you into a special soul. Slogan: the pen with which you can draw your line of elevated fortune is your elevated activity. Therefore, create as much fortune as you want. Om Shanti.